So guys, welcome to another philosophy video. Now, if you might notice, I did a similar video to this, but it wasn't as good quality, and I figured I might redo it and do a more recent one. Here it is. So here's another really good method, I feel, for developing self-discipline, and that is the split mind technique. And what I mean by split mind is you sort of divide yourself mentally into two people. So on one hand, you have the teacher, on the other hand, you have the student. And how it all ties together is when you're the student or you're living your own life, you kind of go more by desire and you tend to get lazier. Why it's harder to develop self discipline. And you might notice when you're in groups or you train in a class or you have a sensei or a teacher, it's easier because someone's there pushing you, helping guide you along the ways. But when you're by yourself, you're kind of in open water. You don't know what to do. And no one's really going to stop you. You start to slack off, get lazy. No one's going to be like, hey, get back to work. No one's there. It's kind of your own self. And there's more enticement to become lazier and just kind of give up. But the split mind perspective, when you have the teacher and the student in mind, first you see yourself as a student, but in a third person. So whatever you're doing, you kind of see yourself like pretend here I am, I'm a person, but mentally I'm sitting over there, and now I take the mind of a sensei, so to say, like the person I am right now, or let's say you're watching. You right now, you're your own student. So whatever you are, if you got weight to lose, you want to learn something, you got stuff to do. Here's the student. Now you're the teacher, and you're asking, what do I have to do to make that student be successful or reach their goal or whatever they have set in mind? So whenever I'm training, I try to see myself in a third perspective. So I'm the student, and if I'm the sensei, this is what I would do. So if I say, do 10, 20 push-ups right now as a sensei, and then I go back to the student mind and I do it, I'm kind of watching myself through a third perspective. And when I see I'm doing something I might not like or I think it's wrong, I kind of almost like a conscious kind of thing. And you kind of tell yourself, you shouldn't do this. You should stick more to the path, follow, get more discipline. And overall, it helps. Also, same method I use. Let's say you're having a very hard or challenging exercise to the point where you just don't want to be there. So either push-ups or you're pushing a heavy weight, for example, and you're just suffering through it. You don't see anything else. So what I like to do is pretend I'm not even that person. You kind of shift off. So person's doing the push-ups here. It's just working out. You're the sensei sitting mentally. You're over there. You're sitting on a beach, just enjoying yourself. You're watching this person build muscle, your own student. And then you go back and forth exchanging. So it's a little weird technique, but it kind of works. Not saying it's guaranteed to work, but over time, when you see yourself in third person, it becomes a lot easier because you kind of see where you're going, what you're doing, and easier to direct yourself. So when you need to do something, easier to say done. But when you're your own self, you start to tend to get lazy. But going back again, when you're the student, you tend to get lazy and off the path when you see kind of in first person. In third person, you kind of see your whole body. You kind of get a more vivid image of what you're doing, and it's easier to develop self-discipline. Now, of course, keep in mind you also need some goals or techniques on top of that. So maybe like write some things to do. Don't just go, well, here's what I need to do, and just follow. Whatever he says, just do it. That's kind of pointless. Because, it's like a map. You need to write a planner and directions where you're going to go. Otherwise, you're just going in empty water. You don't know where you'll end up. You might end up successful, or you might just be wasting all your time and energy. So it's like wandering into a forest without a map. You might find your way out, you might get killed. So no one knows. Kind of a risk method. This is a little bit better, and personally, it kind of helps me. When I get off track a bit, I go back to the split perspective, student, sensei, and overall, just helps keep me more disciplined. And I figured maybe this mindset might help some of you. That's why I'm sharing it. So that's about it. And that's my philosophy for today. So thank you for watching, my friends, and I'll see you next time.